Hi everyone, it's Desiree. I am back with another Christmas card. We are still in July. This Christmas card is featuring another new release that Spellbinders has come out called Handmade Holiday. And this is going to be the first video. There's actually going to be a second one that'll come out. Today we are focusing on the Delivering Joy Sleigh. That's our focus. Now, the stencil set that I'm using is a bundle. So there is a Better Press plate that goes with this. And we're actually going to see that in the next video. I had them together, but boy, it really was a long video. Not that I don't do long videos, but I didn't want this one to be too long. But I don't want you to think this stencil's not available individually. I know, someone will be upset, and I apologize now. I'm using this stencil. This is the second panel I'm making because the first one I didn't film. So that's why my stencils look the way they do. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you this. This is a floral stencil, and you're going to see it. You'll see the design in the next one, but I'm using all neutral tones. I'm using light browns. I'm using warm grays to create this background for our card. I'm going to be making a 5x7, and I want to get my layers together because all of the die cuts are then going to be able to be placed right onto the card. So here's the first panel that I did. And again, there's no details when it comes to the large florals there, the light brown. But I just wanted it to be in the background. So just because it's a floral stencil, if that's what you have, doesn't mean that you have to use colors. You could keep it very neutral, keep it soft, keep it light colored, and it'll make a beautiful backdrop for your card. And that's what we did. I then took that panel and I mounted it onto a piece of craft cardstock with some vintage photo around it, and then matted that on black. So now we're going to build our sleigh. So I die cut 2 pieces, solid pieces from the ivory, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then we have the red that comes up, and it's got some die cut areas that lets that ivory cardstock come through. I'm using a matte gold for the gold mirror cardstock. And now I'm just building the poinsettia. We're going to make a white poinsettia. And then we are going to add our ribbon to our presents. And you're going to see that it extends off of it. So they have one die for the ribbon that'll fit each of the presents, and there's an indentation where the ribbon sets. And once that's dry, we'll be able to trim those edges. The bow that die cuts is absolutely adorable. You can have all of these multiple loops coming off of it. It's not just a traditional 2-loop with some tails coming down. It's a very flowy bow, and I just think it is absolutely adorable. You can make it different ways, and you'll see that I will do that with one of them, or with 2 of them. Going to add the top to the sleigh. Again, using that matte gold mirror cardstock. And now we're going to build our bows. So you just keep adding. You have the main one with 2, and then you have one that creates these individual loops, and then just the one piece for the tails. And you just keep adding them in the center. This piece really stuck to my finger often. Yeah. And then the center point that goes on the top. So I didn't have enough of the single bows to add, so I just used the 2 and added the tails to the bottom. and I think they look just as adorable. So again, have fun with your dies. Change them up. Yes, they were designed to go together a certain way, but that doesn't mean that we can't change it up and get more uses out of them. So I think that's great. Trimming around the presents. And now we are ready almost. We're going to put our bows on our presents. And then we will construct our sleigh. So even though I die cut the sleigh multiple times to give it some dimension, I am going to add some double-sided foam squares to the back. And the reason for that is so that I can tuck the presents and the foliage up underneath it. I'm one where I will take the focal point and when I collage, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm collaging with these pieces. So as I'm doing that, I like to get the focal point set, excuse me, in place, and then add my pieces up underneath it. And by just lifting it up just a little bit with the, I call them slimline or low profile double-sided foam squares, it's just enough for me to be able to do that. I'm going to take the last gift that's going to sit on the top and just prop that up just a little bit. And now we'll start adding all of the greenery. So you can see I'm just able to tuck it in behind the sled, not having to curl it up, not having to pull it up, but I'm just able to tuck those pieces right in there. I'm going to get the poinsettia in there next, and I'm going to put a double layer of double-sided foam squares because with the height of the sleigh, I want that to sit just above it. And then you'll see I'll keep pushing that down so that the leaves of the poinsettia will actually fold up. We're going to add the holly leaves in next around that. And our sentiment is that little tiny tag that's coming off and that says joy. I'm going to add a bow to this as well. And we're going to put that right where the tag is tucked in. So we're going to form the bow and then trim off the tails. And I'm just going to hold that there just for a little bit to make sure that grabs. And you can see that background is subtle enough. It just sits in the background and just adds a little bit something extra to the back. I did add a gold gem to the center of the poinsettia just to give that a little bit of sparkle. And there is our card. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's project. I do love making holiday cards, especially in July. Gets us ready because it's right around the corner. This year is going by so fast. The products that I used will be listed down below, and if you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, ring the bell for notifications. We'll give it a shot if it happens. I don't know, but check back often. I post here regularly. Most of all though, enjoy the process creating your art, and always remember what's most important. Always be creative in everything that you do every day. I will talk to you in the next one, and until then, take care and stay safe.